안녕하세요. 데니스입니다.
네, 안녕하세요.
어,
아,
어떻게 지내세요?
지금 잘 지내고 있습니다. 한국말을 하십니까? 한국말을 하시나요?
Okay, that's the only Korean that I know.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have like a two-way communication, but I guess not.
Oh no, no, no. That's the only
It's
Korean
all good. It's all good.
I
Hey, is my
practice.
audio?
I practice for you. um,
Bravo.
okay.
Let's
Okay,
go.
hi. Hello everybody. 안녕하세요. My name is Denise Mallabo and I'm the features editor for a book of .us, and I am here right now with singer songwriter extraordinaire Sue Lee. Yay! Hi again. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Okay, how have you been?
I've been I should probably say good, but not really.
What?
I
Okay.
know. You know what? Like I said, there are two reasons that I say not good. One, because I just want to say not good for the sake of saying not good because everybody said good,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
like boring. You kind of see it coming. But
yeah.
also the second reason being not so good. Genuinely, I have not been so good. Um, I just had just like a big burnout,
Mm,
really, really big burnout. So I spent the last couple of weeks just like going through some phase. At one night I just ended up like crying outside a bar alone
oh,
in the middle of K-Town in LA. It was a rough few days, not gonna lie. But hey, I'm here. I'm back on track. Today's actually the day one, actually, ever since the meltdown, that I felt even remotely human. So I'm glad that I'm here right now,
okay.
feeling
I'm
like I'm here.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's just eat something really good and probably drink some more soju or
That's
whatever that
Yes, soju. Soju is always the right answer for sure.
What would you consider a significant shift that occurred in your life in the last year?
Um, I think definitely the scale has gone up. It's kind of strange how like I'm still in the same like size of a room that I was in, but now just in the States. And I'm still pretty much using the same equipment here and there. My setup is pretty easy. My process is still the same, but I think the biggest difference is that there's a little bit of budget now and I'm working with more people, and I think the kind of little parameters of my little small artist world has been expanding.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest change.
Okay. And you also did a tour to open for a Japanese group called Chai. Is that
Yes,
right? Am
yes,
I saying that?
yes.
In their North American, gigs last year. So how was that? How was
There
that?
were That was the my tour with them. My tour supporting Chai was my first ever tour, so it
Mhm.
was my first time being on the road. I not gonna lie, I was kind of shitting myself, like about everything really, as I always do, but especially the fact that I was kind of touring with a group of girls that I never really met up.
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about them, and I was like, what if they hate me? What if they don't like? What if we don't get along? And like we're supposed to like perform on the same stage every single night.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the biggest concerns that I had, and turned out they were like the loveliest, the most wholesome group of girls
Oh.
I have ever met. And I'm not like, I'm not even sugar coating anything. They genuinely are the loveliest girls ever.
But were you able to also perform by yourself during last year?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So I was kind of like had my own little set, and it was there. I After like a couple shows, you think you get used to it. Like, I think I got the hang of this. I
Yeah.
honestly still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And one thing that I know for sure is that as much as it is nerve-wracking, I enjoy every single second of it. I enjoy the adrenaline rush, and I can see why like artists like Madonna have kind of admitted that she's addicted to being on
Hmm.
stage. I can see where she's coming from, especially like with the audience that she has, like with tens of thousands of
Oh
people
yeah.
screaming and
Yeah.
just dancing and shaking their booties, you know.
Well, you can also shake your booty. And shake
Yes,
the
shake everything,
yeah.
shake everything.
Okay. And also, um once I actually watched you on Twitch. So you were also in that platform
Yes.
during the in the midst of the pandemic. So what made you decide to go on that platform to
Oh,
perform, to talk to
my
your fans?
yeah, what made me be get on Twitch and start live streaming? Bluntly speaking, my manager told me to.
Okay.
I was like, hell no, that's too much anxiety. And he was
Yeah.
like, no, you have to. You're an artist. That's what you do. And I was like, oh God, okay, fine. I did it. That was the
Okay.
reason. And that was how it began. But now it's kind of, transformed. And I had my journey of like finding the right way of streaming. I've tried like all the normal things that people do while streaming, like playing games and like I don't know, playing music live, producing, like whatever.
Mhm.
But it took me a while to like find my style and what I'm the most comfortable with. But once I did, which was like just kind of like engaging with people and just talking, it kind of became sort of a therapeutic thing for me. And I really like the I mean, I don't care how people call it a parasocial. I don't know is that the right term, parasocial? Uh,
I'm not sure.
it's like a one-sided communication where it's
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
at the end of the day, you're like the person on the screen and you're like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. For me, it's like I heal, everybody heals. It's a wholesome vibe. That's all that matters. And I
Okay.
enjoy streaming now.
Yeah, I saw you like you were performing one of your songs. It was so fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just like no pressure. Just
Yeah.
do it.
Okay, so basically you're finally or sort of kind of free from your old box. But well, just a while ago you mentioned that you're still in that, same box but only in the US. But so what do you miss most about being in that old box of yours? Probably.
Oh, I think actually, ironically, it is having full control of my own work.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I've always dreamed of, it's ironic how I've always dreamed being in that like box room. I've always dreamed of working with other people,
Mm-hmm.
people who are experts in their own field so they can help me out with filming stuff, editing stuff, and producing music, writing music together. I've always dreamed of it. And now that I'm finally at that position doing all these things in real life, I realize there are also, downsides to working with other people and sharing your creative vision. Sometimes it works out wonderfully, but sometimes it can cause like extra level of stress because, sometimes visions clash,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, people's schedules don't match.
Yeah.
And um yeah, that's kind of actually like the one of the biggest reasons why I had a meltdown recently because of like all this stress that came from interacting with other creatives and trying to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, it's my work, it's the
Yeah.
work that I'm putting out with my face on it. So I think sometimes the frustration comes from me caring. It's feeling like me caring is it is I who cares about my work the most. And nobody else cares about it as much as I do. And I think coming from that perspective of viewing my work as my little baby,
Mm-hmm.
I get a little bit protective, overprotective, even sometimes. And sometimes there's like frustration that comes from that.
Mm-hmm. So speaking about your work, you're finally going to release your debut album, Messy Sexy. So does the name describe how you feel?
You know what? It kind of I would actually to be yes it I guess that answer in and of itself hopefully was a little bit messy sexy if you know what I mean. Uh I think messy sexy it entails a lot of meanings. I mean, I want to leave that up for everybody's interpretation of what that means for everybody. But for me, I think messy is the part that is just like me, and sexy is a part that I aspire to be.
Mm,
So I think the whole message is that, like, for me, I interpret it as like, hey, it's a messy life, you know, like everything's messy,
mhm.
and I want to embrace it and I want to turn it into something beautiful. I want to view it as something beautiful. And
Yeah.
the latter is I'm still working on it, but I think once you get there, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
messy sexy. I want to
Yeah.
be messy sexy.
Let's all be messy sexy.
I'm just messy. I'm just messy right now. So
Sam,
I need
oh
the
my God,
sexy
Sam.
part.
Hence the virtual background, girl.
Yes,
You won't see
dude.
them, so
I
you
don't
won't.
give a shit. Just let it out, dude. I'm like literally using all that. Like, look at that trash can. Look at how relatable I am. Look at how relatable that plastic bag that I got from like Target.
Oh, but
It's like,
it's
mm,
nice that you do that. It's called recycling, so it's
dude, it's called being human. It's called recycling. It's called caring about the environment.
fine.
Yes, for sure.
Although I love the Amy Winehouse poster that you got there.
I got it from a
Oh,
fan who's like an 8-year-old little girl.
oh, that's so
Yeah,
cute.
I've been raving about how I always wanted to have a Amy Winehouse poster, but I never could get one in
Mm,
Korea. So, in one of the shows that she came to in
mhm.
Texas, she gifted me one of these
Oh my
posters.
God, that's so
It was the
adorable.
sweetest thing. Yeah.
So I got to listen to the entire album, but you know it still has that signature Suli lyric, wherein you're like you just pulled all the thoughts and all our brains, feelings. So how intimate is this album for you?
I mean, I want to say like very, 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 very super duper, very, very, really, really, really intimate. But I also can't think of like it's like very intimate
Yeah,
because I wrote it. I wrote every single
yeah.
song. I made every single song. Um, I mean, I really can't think of an album that's not intimate to that artist, I guess. But for me, it's like it's intimate. For me, it's intimate in like a very alien way.
Mm,
When I listen back to all the tracks off the album, it's almost like I wasn't the one who made it because it felt like all these songs were recorded and made at such different points in my past years that it's literally me in as a different person.
mhm.
Um, I mean, I guess I kind of wanted that vibe of how each and every song sounds like it's from a completely different world,
Yeah.
completely different from like a headspace. Um, but yeah, it's a weird like time capsule. I call it tattoos because it's almost like a little encapsulation of some really really strong, emotionally strong and charged moments
Mhm.
from my life. And it is they were painful moments, they were like weird moments, but they're very intimate moments for sure.
Yeah, so compared to, of course, compared to your EP that you released like last year, you work with several people here
Mm-hmm.
for this album. But what is basically your creative process here? I mean, what's the difference between the two?
Um, I mean, the previous EP was done 100% by me. It
Yeah.
was by 100%, I mean like produced, but also written and recorded and also engineered, so mastered and mixed and like fucking everything. Just because I was broke, you know, I was broke. I still kind of am, but now I have
But
some money kind of now I can like afford to like have work with professional engineers who actually knows what they're doing. Um, and the process was very different for like songwriting and producing too. I mean, it depends on the a particular song off the album, but you know, it has a lot of the songs has tracks that I have worked on in my first ever in-person session
oh,
with producers. So before I was like, what? Musicians actually get in the same room and work on a song together? That's a thing? That's a thing? And all the way to like me actually being in my first ever in-person session with a producer
Mhm.
and like actually sitting down like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? I don't know what to do. I don't know. And to actually it being a full ass song. Um, so yeah, the process, some of the songs were actually done entirely on an email thread. I never
Mm.
even actually met some of
Yeah.
the producers. They were just all like text. So they're like a text for me. Very talented text, very talented.
Yeah.
But they're just like a block of texts in my brain. But yeah, nonetheless, it's been very different, but enjoyable and nerve-wracking and
Mhm.
chaotic and fun and stressful and everything in between.
Everything. Yeah, and also I remember in a previous interview I asked you when you're going to release like Korean a Korean song, and I think your answer was I think you already wrote something. You already wrote a Korean song. But, yeah,
Oh, I
but
think I
there,
remember this.
yeah, yeah,
I think I remember
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
now.
I'll send you the link of the interview.
Yeah, I think
It's
I
on a book.
remember it.
It's on a book of. But anyway, but here on your new album, you have at least two songs. You have two songs that you wrote, but not only in Korean, but it's a multilingual
Mhm.
songs with a Colombian artist called Ariza. So how did that collaboration happen between the two of you?
That
Was he one of those block
he
collaborations?
uh he actually is. I do at least know what he looks like.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I have seen his face and we have been on like Zoom calls. It is
Uh-huh.
very funny how he is based in LA, so we're in the same city, but we still have yet to meet in
Mhm,
person because he's so busy.
mhm.
Obviously because he's so talented. But yeah, those two songs, Jump and Super Happy, were done entirely via email conversations. I mean,
Wow.
it is very weird how like it's almost like a I don't know how to describe it, but it's like so digital and so it sounds so unorganic, like it's so unartistic to be like, hey, here's a little link to
Yeah.
download my little thing.
And just
And hey,
insert
this is the
your
update. Hey, like
yeah.
it's like a little Tetris
Yeah,
stack.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but it is also like very fascinating how each email that we sent back and forth became kind of like a musical conversation that we ended up
Mhm,
having. Some of the things we didn't even have to like write words. It was just like, hey, this is an update. What do you think?
mhm,
Put your interpretation on it. It became like a little stack of musical conversations and became what it is now. It's
mhm.
very interesting.
Oh wow. It's kind of I don't know if I can do that. Like,
I
I've
mean,
done it
I
before.
made it sound like very sexy. I made it sound like, oh my God, like this is a musician thing, but like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the time. I'm like, the song was just like, it started with like me being like, I'm feeling super happy now. I don't even know what the chords are. It's just dry ass me singing to a metronome. It was like,
Yeah,
beep,
yeah.
beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep, beep. And I'm like just singing it.
Okay.
And I'm like, you magician producer, sir, you do your thing. I will let you do your thing. And it just became a thing.
You are a talented woman for being able to do that. I can't. Okay. So I know that you mentioned earlier that everything that you write, your songs, it's very personal. But where do you get your inspiration? I mean, like, it's it from the trees? It's from the. I mean, like,
It
where do
is
you
from
get
the trees. It is from the trees. It is from the skies
it?
and the birds. For sure, the birds.
The birds.
The birds that you hear when you have not slept a single minute for
Oh
the
my
whole night
god.
and you hear the birds chirping
Chirping.
at 5 in the morning, that's a good time to write a song about how much of a freaking loser you are in your life. You need to figure your
Oh
life out.
no.
Damn, I spent all night awake reading this erotic manga.
Oh my god. Going back, so aside from the birds, where do you get
Yes.
your inspiration to write
Um,
all these? these thoughts in your head and make it a beautiful song that people can relate to.
It's honestly like it goes back to like me saying how my tracks with Ariza started out with like a single little audio message of my thought for a chorus idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it always begins with like a little piece of something,
Mm-hmm.
and that piece could be something that doesn't necessarily have to be a musical piece. It could be like a little text, like a oh, I don't know, the word messy sexy is somehow stuck in my head, or like, oh, I really like the word sonder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Sonder, I let me just write a song about Sonder. Let me write a song about Sonder. I don't want to just write a song. I've always wanted to write a song about Sonder. And it's just like it's always like a little it's or it could be like a nice picture that I found off of Pinterest or something. It always starts with a little piece of nugget
Mm-hmm.
of inspiration, and it doesn't have to be musical. It can be audio. I don't know, audio recordings that I hummed while I was walking down the street, um, or like a dream that I had that I just jot down on a journal or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the moment kind of his the creative juice starts flowing, I sit down and go through all my, kind of little goodie bag, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, of all these little nuggets and pick and mix things that makes seems to make the most sense as like a musical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow,
it starts from there.
your brain must be full of ideas and
Yeah, that's why I'm depressed as fuck because there's so much.
take it
That's
easy,
so much.
take it easy, girl. You need to rest.
I know. I'm trying. I'm trying, girl. I'm trying my best.
Just read all your mangas and watch all the
It
movies.
really helps,
Yeah.
man. Whatever that helps us decompress. And for
Yeah.
me, it's hentai all the way.
Oh my
All the
God.
way.
Okay, okay. All right. Were you listening to other artists? Who did you listen to for that inspiration?
I'm trying to remember because I do like to like when I'm actually making musical things,
Mm-hmm.
I do like to have like little reference tracks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's damn, I don't know. I just like I mean, there are always like a staple for me, like musical inspirations. Like Tom Odell is one artist that I always like look up to in terms of mixing like piano sounds to
Mm-hmm.
his songs, and I he's an amazing pianist. So I can never get to his level, but I love like the melancholy, the nostalgic vibe of his songs, and I have a soft spot for nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to like I get a lot of inspiration from Tom Odell's music. Obviously Joji. I always say Joji. I don't even like I think at this point
Oh
everybody
my
would be like, who's
Joe.
Joji?
Yeah.
Um
I think I'll be seeing Joji here in Manila really soon.
ah!
Yeah, because
Yeah!
Head in the Clouds will be here, girl.
Yes,
The
I have
tour.
heard. I
Yeah.
have heard, and I heard that Joji is playing a set this time.
Yes, yes. If you will be here together with the hotness that is Jackson Wang and
A ball of hotness for sure. I hope he does never watches this. He's a ball of hotness.
no, I hope that he sees this. Jackson
Oh,
Wang,
yes, you're a ball of
you are a
hotness.
ball of hotness.
Like a big ball of glowing hotness.
Yeah.
Yes,
Always take
yes.
off, always take off your shirt. Sue and I will love you for that.
谢谢.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Joji, we love Joji.
We do.
Who else do you have anyone?
I mean, honestly, I guess if they kind of if there are the artists that come up first in my mind, they're definitely like influenced me in some form or another. So like the artists that come up first in my mind are like Glass Animals, shit, fuck, Tyler the Creator. I always mention the same artist.
Yeah.
Frick. Shit. I don't know.
Amy
I
Winehouse there.
Oh God. Oh God. I don't know. Oh, Amy Winehouse.
Yeah,
Yes.
Amy Winehouse.
Oh, actually, interesting. Um, Ariana Grande for vocals. I
Oh.
just fucking love how I mean, like, it's her voice, of
Hmm.
course, but like, I just love, like, whenever I listen to her songs, there's something very like ASMR crispy about her, the way her voices are processed. Like, it's just like so crisp, and
Hmm.
it's like, psh, it's got a lot of psh to it. They call it like high end or whatever. I don't
Hmm.
know, but I call it the buzz,
Okay.
because it just gives you the buzz in your ears, and it's like, oh my God, it's like her voice is just like fucking like fucking my ears,
Yeah.
like, and not in a weird way,
Oh my
but yeah, I
God.
just love. Yeah, I remember.
The visuals in my head.
Yeah, I remember sending like Positions by Ariana Grande as like a reference to my mixer. Be like, I want my voice to sound like this,
Oh.
like her, like this.
And what did your mixer say?
Um, I think
Mm,
his response was like,
girl. Girl.
is Ari. No, I was just like, give me the buzz.
Yeah.
I know it's impossible, but just at least give me the buzz.
Mhm. Okay, so
Um,
aside from music writing, aside from being in your just your box creating music, what else is keeping you busy? Have you been watching other musicians there in the US?
ah, damn. My life is so boring. I
Oh.
have not, I do not drive here yet, so I'm like just not mobile. My mobility is shit right now. Let me think. Ooh, I've been like, I haven't been like super out and about, but there have been some really cool like opportunities for me to just kind of peek into the industry, if you will.
Mhm.
One of which that stood out to me was I got invited to like an after party
Uh-huh.
by this boy group, K boy group called The Rose. And yeah, it was in LA,
Oh, I love
K-Town,
it.
LA.
Uh-huh.
And I was invited by a friend of mine who just happens to like have worked with them in the for this album. So I just
Hmm.
got there, got to like, peek around, and I got super duper drunk. I got super drunk because it was an open bar, like I have a
Uh-huh.
soft spot for like free drinks, and I just
Yeah,
keep
we're
drinking and
there for
drinking and
the
drinking.
drinks. Yeah.
Yes, I'm there. I was there for the drinks, and I was just honestly there innocently just to like people watch and just like have some good time. And
Uh-huh.
then my friend introduced me to all the like the Rose members.
Ew.
And I'm like, at that point, I'm just like so wasted. I'm like, oh my God, your hair is so good. I want your hair. We're like, I was literally like saying in Korean in my like
Mhm.
rusty ass Korean, like, I have never met an idol in real life. Oh my God, you're beautiful. Damn, I was spitting at their face too because I was like talking so loudly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, damn. It was a nice experience though. Although that's the night that I ended up crying outside the bar alone. I don't know.
Well, at least you got to meet the
Yes,
members of the Rose.
they were beautiful people.
I'm
They were
sure.
beautiful.
I'm
Yes, they
sure.
were.
So we're almost nearing the end of the year again. What's the most exciting thing that happened in your career so far for this year?
Um, the most exciting thing would probably be like getting my visa. I
Mhm.
know it's like a little, it's not like, oh my God,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
you're married to the Prince of
yeah.
Hawaii. No, but it's like, it's like a little celebration that it was like a gradual process too for me, where like it wasn't like one day I woke up and I had the visa, but it was like an arduous process of having
Yeah,
to
I'm
go to interviews,
sure.
go to the
Mhm.
embassy and such. But when I got it, it was a weird moment, like in a good way,
Mhm.
because I remember when I was like in middle school in Korea, like stuck in Korea, that I would only just dream of getting the visa that I have right now. And
Mhm.
I remember specifically thinking, I remember like the room and the smell. Like I remember like everything. It's like a little core memory, like a miserable core memory where I'm like, I would never. There's no way I would be ever qualified to get this visa to work in the States.
Mhm.
Um, and when I got it finally, I was like, damn, this is a full circle moment.
Oh, that's so awesome. Wait,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, how old are you?
I it's a little publicist secret that I do not like to reveal. But I have like I in the past I would give answers like ridiculous answers like
Okay.
I don't know, I'm like 255 years old or like I'm like 60 or like I'm like whatever. I'm starting to like kind of experiment with like giving random numbers.
Okay. So what's your
Um
number now?
my number right now is 29.
Oh, you don't look 20. You look 18.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I look 18. I'm actually 12.
Oh, okay. All right. 12 and living alone. That's great. Good for
I
you.
know. I'm a child prodigy.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not 12. I
Yeah.
like to give some like realistic numbers, you know?
Okay. All right, but what are you most excited about? You know, it's we still have a few months. So aside from, well, you'll be releasing your album. So probably by this time when this interview uh has been posted, yeah, your album is out. You're excited. So what are you most excited about it?
Um, oh God, I wish I could be as excited as I am, like nervous and just like really anxious. Um, I think it's just like, I care about it so much and I want it to do well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like really nerve-wracking that like, all these overthinking worries, like what if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do well?
Yeah.
What if it doesn't blah, blah, blah. But if there was something that I looked forward to, it would be to be on the road again, to
Mm.
perform all these new songs. I love performing and I love performing it and just I want to be on the road again.
What will there be plans though to
Yeah, it's not like let's go, I'm
uh-huh.
going,
Yeah.
and people are like, come on, let's go, Sue, let's go, we
Come on.
want you.
Yeah.
It's a process through which people have to work hard. I
Uh-huh.
have to work hard in order to go on the road. But if I could, and fingers crossed that I would. I'm looking forward to just, it could be my headline show, but also I would love to open for people as well.
Mhm.
Again, it's just fun to get to know other artists.
Is there any advice that you can provide to, to other singer-songwriters like you who had a dream and, finally you're in the, you're doing it?
Yeah. Um, damn, I have so like this could fucking turn into a TED Talk because I have so many things. But if I could choose one, it would be fuck, I got cramps. I got cramps. I got cramps. No, it's okay.
Right.
I got it. I got it. It's I'm good.
Okay.
It would be if there was one thing I could say, I think it would be to trust your intuitions. And I think people can and should, I believe, give more credit to their intuition
Mm-hmm.
than they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just so I remember when I was kind of like trying to get myself up to a level, try to build an audience or whatever, I would, watch all these tutorials on YouTube on like music marketing and talks from the so-called music gurus. And I would follow what they would tell me to do because I thought that was the right answer,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't intrinsically feel like that was the right thing for me and I wasn't 100% comfortable doing it myself, but
Mm-hmm.
I would still do it because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. And it was only when I decided that, you know what, all this advice is not working. So like, fuck this. I'm just gonna like do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do whatever that I know, cheesy as this may sound, I'm just gonna do whatever my heart tells me to do. Like, I'm having fun doing this. It may not be the most, fitting thing.
Mhm.
It may not be the most TikTok friendly or whatever. It may not be the most like, you know, pop culture friendly nowadays, but at least I'm having fun and I feel like myself when I'm doing it. And I feel like this really captures me as a person, as an artist. And that only then things like I started to like gain people who actually enjoyed my work and appreciated my work, and started building an audience, and started building a genuine connection with people. So I think, yeah, just follow your intuition. I think we don't give our intuition enough credit, nowadays, and it plays such a big role, as artists. Yeah.
Great. That's an
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Here, if you were a book, Suli, what book would you be and why? Oh my
Oh,
God. I'm excited for this.
ooh.
What mega book would you, no, I
Oh,
mean, what book?
damn.
But seriously, what book would you be? Like,
Oh.
it's an open question, okay? I mean, it could be a title, it could be a genre, it could be your made up, you know, like,
Can I be a library?
oh, oh my God, you ate the entire thing. Okay.
I want to be a library. I want to be an autobiography. I want to be a fiction. I want to be a nonfiction. See, I want to be everything.
All right. Okay. We can do that. We can
I
definitely.
mean, that's actually that you mention it because
Mhm.
I have literally my analogy for Messy Sexy the album is a library.
Oh, okay.
Um that I wanted this to like I kind of wanted to say like fuck you to like this whole like culture of music where a lot of people expect an album to have like a certain theme or like a certain kind of brand to it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put out something that's like a whole library. One song is like very real. The other song is like very like kind of like like cuckoo and like
Hmm.
it's just kind of like wild. And another one is like more down to earth. And another one is like kind of sexy. Another one is like more moody. And another one, I kind of wanted to like cater
To
to
everyone.
all sorts of
Yeah.
needs to listen to different genres of music.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a library. I'm a library.
You
I want to
are
be a
a
library.
library. Okay. Oh my God, Sue. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this interview with you. And I hope that I get to see you perform live. That would be fun.
Yeah, I hope so too. Is that a BTS background, by the way? Is that like a BTS?
Girl, you know your BTS. You know your
I know what BTS
you
means,
know your
man.
BTS. Thank you so much, Sue,
Thank you.
for the time. I hope that you get a lot of sleep and good and happy days there in the US. And I hope to
Sending you
see
lots of love as well.
you too. 사랑해요. 사랑해요.
사랑해요.
사랑해요.
Goodbye.